And hey everyone, welcome to a special midweek episode of Ask a Ghost Hunter with me, your host, author, and ghost hunter, Rick Hale. So, just a couple minutes ago, I put a picture up on my TikTok as well as on my Instagram, and it's a meme that's been going around for a very long time, and it tends to cause a lot of drama and a lot of backlash in the paranormal community, or as I like to call it, paranormal land. So it it's a picture that says basically expert, professional. These words are non-existent in the paranormal community. Basically, nobody can really call themselves an expert or a professional in the paranormal field, in the paranormal community. And in a way, I agree with it, but also in a way, I don't. So the, I have been asked this question before, and keeping with the fact that it is called Ask a Ghost Hunter, this is the question: Rick, are there such things as experts or professionals in the paranormal field? And my answer to that is yes and no. Allow me to elaborate on this because it really is a lot that really, like I said, it causes a lot of drama and a lot of problems. So let's take a look first at the word expert. So expert, by its very definition, is a person that has gained a certain amount of knowledge and experience in a field. Now, somebody like myself, who has been involved in the paranormal field and the paranormal community, um, God, since 1982, going on, over 40 years now, um, I do have, a certain amount of expertise as well as knowledge that somebody who is new to the field may not. But can I really call myself an expert? So we have to really we have to dissect the word expert, which we're already kind of doing here. And with the word expert, I would say that as far as being an expert in matters of life and death, I would say no. You can't really call yourself an expert only because you have to have a knowledge of not only this side of life, which, most of us do, correct? But then you would also have to have a knowledge of what comes on the other side of life. And then that's where using the word expert to describe yourself, it gets a little dicey. You can't really call yourself an expert in that. However, I will say this: you can call yourself an expert in certain aspects of the field. For example, photography. Photography has been an important part of the paranormal field and the paranormal community ever since photography and the supernatural met well over 100 years ago. And a person can be an expert in the field of photography, taking pictures, analyzing pictures, tearing images apart, putting them through computers, making sure that everything looks exactly the way that it should, and that there is no fakery involved, and that it is a legitimate image of, say, a ghost or any kind of a supernatural event, such as, with cryptids or aliens. I think that those are people who can call themselves experts. Or another person that can call themselves an expert is, say, somebody in video. They know how to expertly set up a video shot, and excuse me, and they're able to, take a video that properly shows a given moment in time. Those people can call themselves experts as well. Other people that can call themselves experts are people that are involved in electronic voice phenomenon. They know exactly what to do and exactly how to use that equipment so that they can capture a believable piece of evidence. And then they're able also, put it through computers and able to analyze it, and they can put it out there for the world for people to see. Those are people who can call themselves experts in the paranormal field and the paranormal community. But as far as an expert on life and death, I don't think anybody can really call themselves that. You would either have to be some kind of a deity or a person that has inside information on what happens on the other side of life. And of course, that means death. And none of us are going to know what that is until we actually cross that bridge from this life into the afterlife. So the second word that people have a problem with in the paranormal community, of course, being the word professional. Again, with the word professional denotes that you do this as a profession, as a job, something that you get paid for. Now, of course, there are professional people in the paranormal community and in the paranormal field. These are people who are on television, talking heads on some of these shows where they show like a video and then you give somebody who they analyze the video and then talk about it on screen and explain what's going on. Or people who are able to make a living being a paranormal writer, or people who are able to make a living being a paranormal podcaster, or a creator of a television show, anything like that. Those are people who are professionals. I myself, I am not a professional. Yes, I've authored 4 books. I've done dozens of investigations throughout my life. Done a few podcasts, do this. I don't make any money on this. So I can't really call myself a professional in the field. So it's another one of those controversial statements that nobody can really call themselves, again, a professional unless they're actually being paid to do this. However, you can call yourself a professional in the context of being professional while you are on an investigation, and I think that that's very important in and of itself, because you don't want to go into somebody's home. They're already afraid of what's happening in their home. You want to go in there and you want to be as professional as possible. Use professional language. Don't use profanity. Be respectful not only of their house, but of the family that it is that you're trying to help, but also be respectful and professional towards the entities, if in fact that there is an entity even there. So there is a difference between being a professional and being paid and acting professionally while in the field, while doing investigations. And I think that that's like one of the things, those are 2 words that people really get caught up on. And it's like, I understand why people have a problem with words like expert, and people have problems with words with the word like professional, because we all want to be on the same playing field. We're all really trying to work together, at least ideally we're trying to work together. We're trying to figure out a mystery. We're trying to figure out this thing in life, whether or not ghosts are real, which recently my son says that he does not believe in ghosts, which kind of broke my heart a little bit, but hey, that's his own personal belief and I am not going to try and sway him any other way. People who go looking for aliens or go looking for cryptids. You can be an expert in certain areas of the field, but you can't be an expert in matters of life and death. I don't think that that's possible. You can be a professional and get paid while doing this, and believe me, I would never begrudge anybody their success in this field, because I think that would be terrible. But really, the only time you actually ever see the words expert or professional are for people who are on television. And even though those are the same people that come out and they're like, oh, well, you shouldn't call yourself an expert or a professional, and yet it seems to be okay when they're a talking head on a television show. So that's my take on whether or not you can call yourself an expert or you can call yourself a professional in this field. I know that there's going to be people who disagree with me, and that's okay. This is how we make each other sharper. This is how we learn from each other, and I'm hoping that kind of like cleared up a little bit of my personal beliefs about this, because I have called myself a professional. I have called myself an expert. And I got shouted down without actually being able to explain what it is that I mean by that. So this is my explanation of that. So I'm not an expert in life and death, and I'm certainly not a professional in the context that I get paid to do this. I make no money whatsoever. So I hope that that clears up a few things on this episode of Ask a Ghost Hunter. So it is New Year's Eve. And I hope everybody has a great holiday. I hope that you go out and have fun, but be smart. Please don't drink and drive. I've had some people who are close to me who were almost killed by a drunken driver. Make sure that you're safe and, have a good time. And we will see you again in 2026. Let's hope that it is a great year, not only for myself and my family, but also for you as well. And remember, as always, friends, stay spooky.